But yeah, the last album, it's 100% a personal favorite of mine. It's called Deconstruction by Devin Townsend Project. If you don't know what the Devin Townsend Project is, Devin Townsend, it's a band that's created by Devin Townsend. Devin Townsend is known for two things. He sang with Steve Vai back in the day, and he's also one of the members of Strapping Young Lad. So if you ever heard the metal band Strapping Young Lad. So yeah, Deconstruction was released, let's see, it was the third album by Devin Townsend Project, and it's actually the overall 13th album that Devin Townsend has ever made. So he released Deconstruction on June 20th, 2011. So it's an 11-year-old album. All right. In 2 more years, it'll be a teenager. The album itself, lengthwise, clocks in at 70 minutes, 39 seconds. It's got a total of 9 tracks. The reason it's over a fucking hour with only 9 tracks is because, I'm not joking, 1 track is 10 minutes, 1 track is 16 minutes, and I think 2 of them are at least 9 minutes. So these songs are very long, but that is part of the charm of Devin Townsend. That's the charm of the album, is he's just like, here's this like bombastic, crazy, super high energy, like prog metal music here. Yeah, it's a personal favorite of mine. It's actually the very first Devin Townsend album I ever heard. Not even Devin Townsend Project, just Devin Townsend album. And just a quick overview of the album. You'll learn real quick. Albums that I'm a big fan of are like concept albums and stuff, and Deconstruction is no exception to that rule. It is a concept album. It tells a story. It's fairly comedic. It's a pretty serious story. It has a wholesome message to it, but it's fairly comedic. But basically, it's about a religious man who decides, I want to find the reality of nature. Nature's true reality, like essentially the meaning of life and the meaning of everything. And he goes on a whole binge to try and figure this out, and what ends up happening is in that binge he finds himself in hell, like actually with the devil himself. It's like, oh, it's Satan, and you're like, oh, it's Tungsten Rat, oh, what is she doing here? And basically Satan goes, oh, you want to find naturality? All right, bro, I got you, here you go, just eat this cheeseburger. And he's like, what? And he's like, bro, I'm a vegetarian, I can't eat cheeseburgers. And he's like, oh, well, sucks for you, buddy. And the religious man goes absolutely apeshit. He's like, God damn it, this whole point of this journey was pointless. There's no reason for this. I can't even eat this cheeseburger to understand my ultimate goal because I'm a vegetarian. This sucks. I hate this. Fuck this shit. But ultimately, what happens is he's kind of freed from like the shackles of this, like essentially what feels like a curse for him, that's trying to figure out this benign over like meta concept that's just like more grandiose than any of us could like possibly ever comprehend, because he's like, you know what, screw it, why do I need to know this stuff? Like, fuck it, let's just move on. I feel free now that I'm done with this journey. And Devin Townsend originally intended, point of the album, the overall theme of the album was like facing your fears, and Devin Townsend himself is a very goofy person, and even though he'll like have a lot of serious moments, I can't believe I missed that platform, he likes to always sprinkle in comedy and sprinkle in fun little cheeky things here. The thing about Deconstruction I think is cool is like it starts off very calm and somber. You'll hear it when you start the first track. It's very quiet and kind of calm and relaxing, and then slowly, even within the first song, it starts to get a little bit heavier, and there starts to be a lot of things happening musically and sonically throughout the song. And then as the album progresses, it just gets more and more chaotic, to the point where there is just like guitar shredding while there's a choir singing in the background. The drums are just like doing double kick drums, like, and just like all this crazy blast beat stuff, while the guitars are like shredding and also chugging at the same time. The choir's just going apeshit, just like holding out all these like high falsetto notes, and you're just like, oh, this is insanity. And then it ends, back to being kind of calm and, uplifting in a way. It sounds very uplifting and powerful, like, oh, we've reached the end here. And I really like that. It was something that when I listened to the album several times, I was just like, yeah, I like how chaotic this is. Like I was thinking every time I listened to like the last couple songs, I'm like, dude, this album did not start like this. It started way calmer and way nicer, and now it's like, wah! Like you're just like, holy shit, bruh. And what's nice is since even though it's like a serious topic, it's like the comedic bits really help. Like no joke, there is actually a part in the album just randomly. Devin he just goes like, "Oh, did somebody say beer?" And then they just start doing a beer chant. Yeah, they're just going beer, beer, beer. But again, when I was doing my little write up, taking my notes and stuff, and thinking about this album and the stuff I would talk about, obviously I like it. I can talk about various things on it. I realized something. I was like, the overall story for Deconstruction, I feel we can relate back to the discussion behind Damn by Kendrick Lamar and Lateralis by Tool. The story of Deconstruction, like I said, is this religious man trying to find the true nature, right? He's trying to find something, right? He has a theory on something and he's like, I'm trying to find the answer to this ultimate question I have. It was similar. I realized there's a lot of similarity between that and the ideas behind the fact that Lateralis, people theorize that album should be played in a different track order, and it hasn't been confirmed by the band. So we're still on this journey of like, is it true? Is it legit? Do you actually have to listen to this album in a different track order? Versus Kendrick Lamar's Damn, where it was 100% confirmed by Kendrick Lamar. He was like, yeah, you are supposed to listen to the album backwards. So do it, because I told you to do that, because I want you to listen to it like that, but also listen to it frontwards, because it's dope. So it's like, Deconstruction is almost like the story that we went through with Lateralis, where we're still like, damn it, we don't have this answer. What the fuck is the point? Why should we even bother continuing discussing about this when we're never going to get the answer? But it's like, we still get a sense of closure from it, and we still feel free to enjoy an album like Lateralis and what it gives to the world and what it gives to us as audience members and as listeners, even though we don't have the answer. We don't know. It's never going to be confirmed by the band if it's supposed to be listened in a different order. But with Damn, we do have that answer, and we get that sense of relief. And it's the same sense of relief that people get with Lateralis, where it's like, hey, at the end of the day, we know the answer to Damn, but we can still go back and listen to this album and enjoy it for what it is. And now we have another piece of information to like make it much more interesting and even more fun to listen to, because now we can keep this one thing in mind that's like, this album is fucking awesome. I equate it to this, and I'm equating a fictional story of a religious man who goes to hell and ends up not being able to find the true nature of reality. I feel like that if that story was real, that's a little bit more of an intense journey to go through than trying to figure out if Lateralis is legit, should be played in a different order or not. That's probably not as intense. I'm pretty sure everyone can move on with their lives if they don't know the answer to that. Again, I say all these things and it's all just kind of my little thoughts on it. But it's stuff like this that it's like that story, it's comedic elements, it's this whole story of like facing your fears and stuff is so interesting to me that it's part of the reason why for sure 100% Deconstruction is in my it's in my top 10 albums for sure. Where in the top 10, I'm not entirely sure yet. I have not made a top 10 list, but Deconstruction 100% is on that list, and Deconstruction is I will 100% recommend to anybody. I think it's a fantastic album, so if you can, hey, put it on that list of albums you may or may not ever get to. Don't worry, if you don't ever get to it, don't worry, I won't hold it against you. It's all good. Listen to it whenever you can. And seriously, if you do listen to it, give it its time. Give it its time. And like sit down and just enjoy it. Kick back, pump up those speakers or your headphones, whatever you listen to your music on, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy the album for what it is. And so the beer chant in Deconstruction is one of my favorite things. Like I'll just be like, yes, I'll start drinking beer and I'll just be like, beer, beer, beer. And the other thing I quote, the last song on Deconstruction is a song called Poltergeist. That song starts and the first thing you hear is Devin Townsend. He just goes, let's finish this now. 100% when I say let's finish this, that's the song I'm thinking of. That's the song I'm quoting. I don't think anyone else ever really truly understands what I'm quoting, but it's for me. It's just for me to know.